Hello and welcome back to Down the Track. And with the Asia Cup wrapped up, all eyes are now on the T20 World Cup in Australia. And with that, day after the final, the Indian team, who did not make it to the final, have announced the T20 World Cup squad. And here's the announcement. Here goes Rohit Sharma, captain; KL Rahul, vice captain; Virat Kohli, Surya Kumar Yadav, Deepak Huda, Rishabh Pant, Dinesh Karthik, Hardik Pandya, Ravichandran Ashwin, Yuzvendra Chahal, Akshar Patel, Jasprit Bumrah, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Harshal Patel, and Ashdeep Singh. In your standby players, you have Mohammad Shami, Shreyas Iyer, Ravi Bishnoi, and Deepak Chahar. The biggest talking point here is Ashwin getting picked over Ravi Bishnoi. Ravi Bishnoi played one game against Pakistan, a high-pressure game. He bowled really well, got the wicket of Babar Azam. He bowls those googlies as well, so he is effective against the left-handers. Ashwin is getting older now. Yes, you have experience in Ashwin, and the fact that Jadeja's not there, maybe you want to bank on Ashwin as a batsman as well. But you already have an Akshar Patel there, a Chahal, who are relatively experienced. Someone like a Bishnoi, where teams have not played them, especially teams from Australia, from England, New Zealand, even West Indies, for that matter of fact, South Africa also, who haven't played Bishnoi as much. They would probably struggle even in Australian conditions, and that's where I want an X-factor spinner. I think that's one decision that is a 50-50 one, but credit to Ashwin. He's got himself into the T20 scheme of things with hard work and effort. He's played IPL. He's changed his game a bit. He's developed variations, whether that's a leg spinner, the carom ball. He's trying different things out, and he's a sorted guy, very strong mentally, and he's someone who reads the game and understands the game, and hopefully his experience can help him in Australia. But I just feel because you already had a couple of good spinners, someone like a Bishnoi would have been an X factor, someone good to have. He is in the standby, so if there's an injury, he will come in. Again, Shami not being included in the squad this time. He's in the standby players. He wasn't in the Asia Cup. Again, surprising. He has experience. He has pace in Australia. It will, be conducive to pace bowling, and he's someone who's played in Australia. He played in that 2015 World Cup as well. He's bowled well in Australia, and the limited over stores there. I remember, Aaron Finch in particular struggling against Mohammad Shami and Bhuvneshwar Kumar. So Shami is someone who also can bowl in the depth. With the power play, he'll pick up wickets. Yes, he can be tad expensive, but in Australian pitches, he has that experience. He has that pace to rush batsmen, and he could have been very effective. They've gone instead with the bowling attack of Bhuvneshwar. They've gone with Harshal Patel, who's coming back from injury, Bumrah, Arshdeep. And if I just look at this, I feel that you have the pace with Bumrah. One extra pace, someone like an Umrah Malik, someone like a Shami, it would have helped, because you have the smart bowlers in Bhuvi and Harshal Patel who can vary the pace. Harshal Patel in particular, it'll be interesting to see how he comes back after injury. Will he be the same bowler that he was previously? He's been outstanding in the IPL. He's been bowling well for India as well, but can he maintain that same thing coming back from injury? It's never easy making a comeback and maintaining that kind of form, that kind of rhythm, and that's one thing that I question, whether Harshal Patel will have that same momentum going into the World Cup. There's a couple of T20 series before that, so hopefully that'll be enough for him to prepare and gear himself up for that big tournament in Australia. But we'll have to wait and watch how that goes. And if you look at the batting, it picks themselves. There's two wicket keepers going with Pant and Karthik. The only thing is they shouldn't be confused in the 11, because they were confused. They played Karthik in the first game against Pakistan. In the second game against Pakistan, they played Pant because to counter Nawaz and Shadab. So they have to go with that wicket keeper with the starting and keep the other one as backup, and they can interchange later. But they shouldn't be confused. They should pick their player or keeper from before and give them clarity of thought. If you're going to pick and drop keepers, not only is he going to make mistakes with the bat, he's going to make mistakes with the gloves as well, and you cannot afford that in big tournaments such as these. And that's my one concern. Hardik Pandya, essential player for India, because he provides bat and ball. In Australian pitches, you'll need that extra seamer, and he will provide you that. He can bowl 140 clicks. He has a good short ball on him, good variation as well. But Hardik Pandya needs to be consistent in this tournament. He is someone who can make the difference for India. He needs to be fit as well. That's another question. Always, it's a dark cloud around him in terms of will Hardik Pandya be fit or not. Hopefully he's fully fit. Hopefully he can bowl those 4 overs when required, and he can bat as well. He's going to be a key player for me in this tournament, especially because of the balance of the Indian team. And Indian team don't have options to replace for him, and that's what I'm surprised. In the standby, I would have personally kept maybe a Thakur, but Deepak Chahar is there, he can bat as well, but maybe a Thakur, maybe a Venkatesh Iyer, someone who can be a like-for-like replacement, because you have to look at it this way. Yes, the quality might not be the same of Venkatesh Iyer for Hardik Pandya, but when you play a certain type of system, it's not just Hardik Pandya that you're missing, it's also affecting the other players, the way Kohli plays, the way Surya Kumar is going to play, the way Rohit Sharma is going to captain and bat as well, is going to affect that. So if you have somebody who's like for like, just in terms of ability, then it doesn't have to be quality, but in terms of what they can provide for you, it becomes easier as for a captain and for a team, and they can fit that rhythm a bit better. It's good to see Arshdeep there. I think they've backed him. He's bowled really well in the Asia Cup. He learned from this experience. Yes, he dropped that catch, but this happens in sport. It's not an issue. He will learn from that and he will improve. And he's shown immense mental strength and power to him as well. Hopefully, he can provide that left arm angle, pick up wickets, and contain in the death overs. I think Bumrah and Arshdeep might be a death over bowlers if Arshdeep does play. If not, then Harshal Patel might. Bhuvneshwar needs to be focused in the power play, both 3 overs. Like they did in Afghanistan, they bowled him out 4 overs. Either bowl him 3 to 4 overs in the power play and finish him off and make the most of his swing, utilize his experience, make sure that he can have that opportunity to pick up wickets. There will be some swing on offer, but at the same time, the ball will come onto the bat in Australia, so the bowlers have to be smart and regularly pick up wickets, larger boundaries, so they'll need to use that as well. They can't just try to give pace on the ball and smash it to all parks. A lot of people saying, why isn't Umran Malik there? Look, Umran Malik is a sensation. He has that extra pace. He can be that X factor, but he's inexperienced. I think he needs to play more bilateral series. Of course, I would love to see him in the squad and throw him in the deep end, but at the end of the day, you have bowlers there who are a bit more experienced. And Umran Malik, he's someone who's a special talent. You have to wrap him in cotton wool, and I think slowly blood him into that Indian squad, and that will happen when he plays more bilateral series. Should have played. I think he should play the Australia and South Africa home series, whether that like a game or two, whether that means someone misses out a game. But I don't know if that's going to happen. But at least after the T20 World Cup, he should be blooded into the squad slowly. Play more bilateral series. Understand the international game. That Ireland tour didn't go too well for him, but he will learn, right? If you're not going to play him, how is he not going to learn? So I think that's where he'll have to slowly blood into the team, and that's why I feel I personally feel that it would have been amazing to have him in the squad, but I think they made the right decision. They should, he is a bit inexperienced, and hopefully he can pick up as time progresses. And if you look at Deepak Hooda has also been picked, he's someone who can provide with the ball, but they need to utilize him when required in the power play and stuff, not just in pressure situations, but Deepak Hooda is someone who can give you the couple of overs in the power play. Suppose Warner is opening, or if you have a left-hand combination who is opening in the World Cup, someone like a Hooda can quickly sneak in a couple of overs, maybe get you a wicket, and he just provides you that extra bowling option. We'll discuss the starting 11s and everything as we get closer to the World Cup. Of course, barring injuries, this is the squad. Anything can happen within a month. There's 2 bilateral series that India have to play against Australia and South Africa. It's going to be high intensity because they will be planning for the T20 World Cup, and we'll have a better gauge, a better understanding of how this team is progressing. One thing that I would admire, even though it was a very disappointing tournament and India did not play to expectations, but one thing I admire is that they are playing more risky cricket. They're trying to take more risks, play an aggressive brand of cricket, and it will take time. They will concur losses. The England squad under Morgan did it as well, but if they can continue to play aggressive cricket and they have someone like a Virat Kohli who can balance that aggression with single doubles rotation of strike, I think they'll have that perfect kind of balance going into the World Cup. And the pitches in Australia, I feel it'll come on, but at the same time there will be a lot of pace, so the batsmen have to be prepared for that. And I feel Indian batsmen at this day and age, they prefer pace coming on the ball. On sticky wickets, we've seen, especially in Dubai, even in the IPL, they've struggled, but now in Australia, the ball will come onto the bat. Their mindset will be different. Conditions will be very important in this tournament. They can't just see what happened in Dubai and expect the same in Australia. The pitches are going to be completely different. The grounds are going to be different. The dimensions will be different, so they will have to take everything into accordance from that side of things. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up. It looks like a strong squad. Of course, a couple of questions will always be there when you select a squad for a big tournament like the World Cup, but this is your squad. You have to stick to it, utilize your strengths, and I would say try not to have confusions in your 11s. Go with a mindset. You have now these 2 series to experiment when required. Play your 15 in this series, play all of them, give all of them a chance, see what they can provide for you. Go with a certain plan going into the World Cup, but also be flexible. It doesn't mean you just go with one plan and you don't change things. Of course, things are required to change, but it shouldn't be just too reactionary. Or one day something happens and you take the guy out of the team because you're playing an opposition who has more left-handers. That shouldn't happen. Back your squad, back your team that you've picked, and go with that. And I think someone like a Rohit Sharma is very experienced. I really like him and Virat Kohli, that interview that they did. It looks like they're both on track to do well for the country, and he will use Virat Kohli's experience in Australia. They're both experienced, and Yes, KL Rahul as well. I saw him in that Afghanistan game. He did captain decently, and he did make some good calls. But someone like a Virat Kohli will always be helpful for Rohit Sharma, and just Virat Kohli's passion, his aggression, will lift this team in that World Cup. You don't need much to lift Virat Kohli, and I'm sure there will be a better performance. The Indian team will want to perform better in the World Cup. Everybody's expecting them to come back after a disappointing tournament, and hopefully this team can provide that. Yeah, let's see how it goes. All to play for in Australia. They'll have to see the opposition as well. There's going to be different. It's not just Asian teams now. You're going to be playing against not only quality spinners but high quality fast bowling. Nokia Rabada are going to come at you. Cummins is going to come at you. Hazelwood Stark are going to come at you. Mark Wood is going to come at you. So there's going to be different challenges for India and Australia. But now is the time to to continue to prepare. Don't experiment too much. Use the 15. Give everyone a chance, and then see how it goes going into that World Cup, and define your roles, and go from there. I think that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll keep you updated with the latest from the cricketing world. This was the episode looking at the Indian T20 World Cup squad announced for the 2022 World Cup. Thank you so much. Make sure you like and subscribe, and take care.